In Romans 8, a passage we looked at before, it says, "Now if we are children, we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory." Now I think this is a fascinating statement, because what it's saying is that the sufferings we share in now, that we endure, that we experience now, are part of what is preparing us to do what heirs do. They manage the estate. The estate we will manage is the earth itself, or that designated portion of it that is put under us. Now, why is it that sufferings would be a tool in God's hands to prepare us to rule? Well, think about this. Think of the prince or princess. There's a king of a country or a queen. And the prince or princess becomes the heir and takes over the position of authority. Suppose that they have grown up in luxury, as they often do. Suppose they're used to getting everything their way and not having to work hard at all. So they're preserved from suffering, and then they take over the position of rulership. They take over the throne. What kind of ruler do they usually end up being? Bratty. Yeah. Unjust, selfish, self-absorbed, not compassionate, spoiled. Yeah, just spoiled. Part of God's reason in allowing us to go through what we go through in this world is to prepare us for leadership in his kingdom, where we will not be spoiled brats, and we will have actually learned in this world, not just changed once we get there. Yes, of course, when we die, we go to be with the Lord. There's no more sin in our lives. There's a certain change, obviously, that's taking place. But that doesn't mean that we lay aside what we've learned. I think we go to the Lord with the Christ-likeness that we have developed in this world, and with the knowledge that we've developed. And so when we go to be with the Lord, are we going to have immediate Christ-likeness? Well, yes, we'll be covered in his righteousness, but will we forever be learning to become more and more like him? I'm not talking about sin. The sin's gone. But is it possible to have a virtue, not a sin, but for that virtue to deepen and grow? I think that's what we'll experience. Same thing with knowledge. When we die, we go to be with the Lord. I don't think, of course, as soon as we die, we'll have all kinds of knowledge we don't have here. But I don't think, and this gets back to the equality issue, I don't think we're all going to have equal knowledge. I think for the most part, we're going to come into heaven with the knowledge we now have, which is going to be corrected, which was wrong, but also we will learn more and more and more starting from where we are. So I think there's a sense in which you could say that through serving Christ right now and studying and learning his word and memorizing scripture, that in a sense you're getting a jump on the life in heaven. You are experiencing a fellowship with Christ, and so in that sense, could you have more of a sense of the heavenly life through the life you have lived here? I think that's true. Once again, I think it's all filled to their capacity, but varying levels of capacity according to how we have experienced the work of God in our lives here. So I think that many of the people who will rule in the kingdom are the people who have suffered most in this life. But it's not that the suffering had a merit in and of itself, so that, because you suffered, therefore you get this. But in the suffering, we were refined and brought more into the conformity of Christ.